What is up, college football fans? What is up, Clemson Tiger fans? Happy Thursday to everybody. So the news broke last evening / last night that one junior running back from Clemson University, Will Shipley, has announced that he is going to officially forego his senior season in college and enter the 2024 NFL draft. Now, I think a lot of people were starting to think or wonder if he was going to come back for his senior year at Clemson, mainly just because it took him so long to make the announcement. And I'm assuming that was because he wasn't fully decided yet, and maybe the final deciding factor for Shipley was what happened to him in the Gator Bowl, right? He had a little bit of a scare. Turns out his injury is not too serious, so he'll be just fine, which is great news for him. But I think it might have scared him a little bit. If it would have been worse, his draft stock right now would have plummeted. So, look, it's never a good thing when a good / great player decides to move on instead of coming back. But in this particular case here, I actually think that this is the best move both for Will Shipley and most likely for the Clemson Tigers football program in the long run. And some other people involved, mainly one Phil Maffa, who we haven't heard anything from, so I'm assuming he's, as of the time I'm shooting this video, that Phil Maffa will be coming back for his senior year. Look, Will Shipley had a great career at Clemson. He'll be missed. A little bit of some of the fans sort of were turned off a little bit by some of his antics, if that's what you want to call it, this season. The whole thing he on the sideline. With running backs coach C.J. Spiller throwing his helmet. I don't know, kind of just an attitude that we haven't seen from Shipley, and I understand he was frustrated with the way that some of the games turned out, as we all were. But anyway, nonetheless, he had a great career at Clemson. Now, the reason I think this is probably the best move for Will Shipley, we'll start with him and then we'll get to Phil Maffa in a second. I was talking about this the other day on one of the live shows that I was doing. Listen, I don't think that Will Shipley can raise his draft stock any more than it already is by coming back for his senior season. And I'll compare him, I'm not comparing him on the field, but just the situation. I'm going to compare him to the greatest running back to ever come through Clemson University and the ACC, Travis Etienne. You guys remember when Travis Etienne decided and announced that he was going to come back for his senior season? And I remember this vividly because I got into a lot of debates with people on the interwebs about whether or not this was a good idea. Pretty much everybody unanimously who wasn't a Clemson Tiger fan said that this was an idiotic move. Travis Etienne's going to get, a second. He got, I think, a second round grade at the time. And they're like, look, all he's going to do is risk a season or career-ending injury by coming back to Clemson. His draft stock's not going to get any better than it is now, blah, 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 blah. Well, they could have been right, but turns out they were wrong. It actually did help Travis Etienne a great deal to come back for his senior year. He still ended up going extremely high in the draft. He ended up going to a team where he was reunited with his college quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, who he had chemistry with, and he broke all kinds of records both at Clemson University and in the ACC that senior year coming back. Now, they didn't win a title that year. That was a disappointment, but he still had one hell of a football season and one hell of a football career. And I do believe, like I said, that because he didn't get some sort of catastrophic injury, it actually did help his draft stock. I don't think the same is true for Will Shipley. I don't think that there's a scenario where Will Shipley comes back for his senior year at Clemson and all of a sudden he moves up to a second or first round running back pick in the draft. He's not Travis Etienne. I think his draft stock is as high right now as it's going to get. So him coming back for his senior season would be nothing more than chasing a title or chasing some sort of stat line as a running back all time at Clemson. That's really it. So I think he made the right decision here. And as far as what this means for the rest of the team, the rest of the running back room, first of all, we have some really good running backs coming in, so the running back room is going to get a little bit crowded. And also, as it relates to Phil Maffa, I think the opposite is true for Phil Maffa, what I just said about Will Shipley. I think that Phil Maffa having one season as the lead back is going to help him tremendously. Tremendously. I think it will help his draft stock. You know, I mean, if Phil Maffa were to enter the NFL draft this year, he's probably a late round pick, right? I think if he has a really good season as the lead back at Clemson this year, he could significantly move up the draft board between now and next year. He also has some things that he really needs to improve on before he does enter the NFL draft. He's a great runner. He's got great instincts. He's got great balance. He's got great power. He's got great speed for a guy his size. He needs to improve and get more involved in the passing game, which Will Shipley was the main pass catcher in the backfield for Clemson for the past few seasons. And of course, maybe more importantly, the pass blocking game, right? That was some of the big negatives about our boy. I love Phil Maffa, okay? But is he a perfect player? No. He's got a lot of growing to do as a player. And that's really probably the main thing. The passing game and the pass blocking game. Cade Klubnik took it on the chin a lot of times because old number 7 was unable to make some of the pass blocks that he needed to make. So he needs to improve in there too. And I think he will in both of those categories. So with Phil Maffa as the lead back, some of the young guys that are coming in, I believe the running back room in Clemson for 2024 is not going to miss a beat with Will Shipley gone. And I think Will Shipley, if I had to make a guess here, and I'm not the best draft prognosticator or whatever you want to call it as far as where players are going to go in what round and whatnot. There are some people that believe that Will Shipley will not even get drafted. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that is he going to be a first or second round pick? No. Is he going to be even a third or fourth round pick? I don't know. Probably not. I think he's probably good enough to be a fourth round pick. Doesn't mean he'll get taken in the fourth round. I see him in the late rounds going somewhere, and I think he's sort of a niche player that has a use. And if he goes to the right team and the right offensive system, you know where he would really probably shine the most is in an Andy Reid system. Andy Reid knows how to use those type of players. Players like Will Shipley, sort of a Swiss Army knife. He's not the biggest. He's not the fastest, although he does have some pretty good speed. But like I said, he's going to be sort of a niche player. He's not going to be a 3-down back in the NFL. But if he goes to the right team, he'll be just fine. So I'm assuming he'll get taken somewhere in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th round, something like that. And, you know, I wish him the best. But, again, I think it's the best thing for the Tigers, the best thing for Phil Maffa. And here we are. So congratulations to Will Shipley and number 7 for being the number 1 back on the team for Clemson in 2024. Peace out.